Furiosa, a Mad Max saga, George Miller has given us his next entry in the Wasteland Tales. Honestly, I feel like that's what it should have been called instead of the Furiosa Mad Max saga thing.
Yeah.
But it could have been Furiosa Tales of the Wasteland, Furiosa Tales of Fury Road Legacy, Fury Road Saga, whatever you want. It is the Fury Road that is the iconic backdrop now of the Mad Max story that doesn't really need Mad Max anymore.
Right, the continuation from what we got in Fury Road, and the story that has between like these different factions. And when it came to Fury Road, when they were talking about certain places like Bullet Farm and Gastown, I was like, I want to go to these places. I want to see how they do. And they do definitely go to these places in this movie, and you get kind of a showdown between like how the world works here, of like, of trades of goods and stuff like that. And then what happens when, people go mad in this world.
Yeah, I mean, that is the thing about the Wasteland, is it picks people apart, but it also makes survivors in the most creative ways. And George Miller, once again, has given us incredibly creative characters, creative vehicles, created methods of destruction and death in the Wasteland, and that's what you want when you watch a Mad Max movie, and that's what he gives us, except he uses it having Furiosa be the vehicle for the tale that's going to eventually end up in the Fury Road kingdom. It feels like a kingdom, honestly, with a Martin Joe sitting at the top.
Yeah, so we get some familiar characters that we saw in Fury Road, but we also get some new characters in the form of Chris Hemsworth.
The other Chris Pratt, Chris Pine, all the Chris's. Yeah, it's Chris Hemsworth, and he kills it. Absolutely kills it as Dementus.
Yeah.
I loved everything about him, the style. This dude, he does some pretty badass things as his character ends up converging on the Fury Road Kingdom.
I feel like they do heavily rely on like Chris Hemsworth's like strengths when it comes to being like this villain, but like also trying to be your friend, like passive aggressive type character that I feel like he can do very well, that we've seen in other movies too. But then you bring it into the world of the Wasteland and everybody is deranged. And so it's like, how can you make a character more deranged, but like not too much that it like overshadows the story? And I think they did very well with Chris.
They did. There's a lot of drama in there. Like, I call it a kingdom because it feels like Game of Thrones at times. You have these houses that are in war with each other. There is aspects of the said war that I do feel like are glossed over. They kind of speed through them, especially in the end, like in the last quarter of the movie. By the way, this movie's broken up into chapters, which is a little different. So usually around like 35 minutes, 25 minutes for each chapter. But it is a tale. It's a saga. Again, don't feel like we needed to have Mad Max saga, like Wasteland saga, Tales of the Fury Road. Like, that is where the story lies. And again, yes, Furiosa is the vehicle that kind of guides us through it. And she's an important part of the rise and the downfall of certain characters in that world. She doesn't do it alone either. There are new characters, like you said, that I really loved in the story, that I would love to see more of in the story. And it feels like if they wanted to open this up to other aspects of Australia, because that's where it is, like it would be like, this is how you do it. But the problem is George Miller he's up there killing it at his age, and I feel like we just don't have a lot left in the tank when it comes to him.
I will say this though, that there is visible times where you could definitely tell that they do have the CG running. Now, granted, yes, Fury Road had a lot of CG in that too, but it's still, I don't know what it was about this one. It just felt like a wax covering on it. in a sense that like it just felt very like the
Polished.
gooey, polished.
Yeah,
it just
gooey.
it did though. It
I
just,
get
but
it.
you're right. It felt like
I
there
get
was
it.
a wax film over it. That it was very smooth in a way. Like you said, it was very clean when it should have been more like
Gritty.
and dirty.
And
It was like dirty clean. I was like, it's a weird like combination.
the only thing that I can think or at least say to that is that like time has passed. It was cleaner back then. It's worse as time goes on. Like this is a world that's evolving and getting worse day by day. So I would think that, you know, over time it's going to look different because there is such a big time gap. By the way, there really is not a post-credit scene while I'm thinking about it because I don't want to forget. There is something after the credits. It ain't worth you staying if you are really staying specifically for that. We say because we want to listen to the music. We look at what they say in the credits. We want to know about, you know, different companies and locations that were involved in making the movies. But if you're staying to see if there's something after the credits, there is something. But it's just a quick little flash, and it's from Fury Road. So if you've seen Fury Road, you've seen it. But Fury Road definitely is, you know, it's the setting for majority of this movie. I loved it. I didn't expect Anya Taylor-Joy to only be in half the movie. It is very much her past leading into the woman that she will eventually become, because first she becomes Anya Taylor-Joy, then becomes Charlize Theron. But it spends a lot of time with that prehistory, and that's why I think it maybe looks so polished.
I was a little bit disappointed by the music, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And I understand that you don't, as a composer, I'm sure you don't want to tread the same beats that you did in the other one, but there were a lot of times where it was like, okay, it was building up, building the music, and then it kind of like went flat, and it kind of stopped, and you were just like, it was like holding in a sneeze.
Yeah. Tom Hulkenberg, he created, in my opinion, one of the best pieces in cinema musically, and that's Brothers in Arms. So if you've seen Fury Road, Brothers in Arms is incredible. We still consistently listen to Brothers in Arms. It's layered, it's beautiful, it's bombastic, and it is Mad Max. Like, it fits that world so well. He does take some of the motifs of it and starts building up, and then it goes nowhere. It literally is a dead end. And I didn't need him to play Brothers in Arms again. I wasn't hoping. I was actually hoping that it wouldn't just start playing verbatim in what was going on. But I wanted another attempt at a Brothers in Arms type of track, something that was like the Hulkenberg going
bombastic,
for it,
like you said,
because Hulkenberg has come up with some incredible tracks. In fact, it hurt my love for the Flash movie because Tom Hulkenberg's score wasn't there, because in my opinion he created the quintessential theme for Barry Allen and the Flash in the Justice League from Zack Snyder. Incredible track, listen to it. But in this one, I was like waiting for that one track that was gonna go for it. It just didn't feel like it was there.
Right. There wasn't something memorable. It was just more so of like, we needed to give you the enough feels for that part of the story when it comes to the music.
Right.
But it wasn't anything that was like, oh, okay, I can listen to that.
And the other stuff
again
was just audio cues from the first movie, which it's fine. That sets up, you know, feeling and theme.
Makes sense because you still go to the Citadel, so
right. But give us a song, give us a badass, like, you know, incredible track that you've been working on to fit Furiosas. And again, it's one time watching. It was so awesome. The Arizona Wastelanders like cosplay crew was there, so it was a packed house. Everybody was excited to be there, and this was their jam. But I just wish there would have been some amazing, like, holy shit moments, you know, musically as well as visually, that just didn't happen in this movie compared to the first movie. And I'm saying if you include all the elements, there are incredible visuals and incredible stunts and action sequences and level up of certain technology that we haven't seen, which is funny because technically it's in the past before Fury Road. But at the same time, again, the world ages, everything ages, things break apart. You see that with certain vehicles. They look pristine and clean. And then when we get to them in Fury Road, they've been run ragged through the wasteland. So it's great to see some of that technology kind of at its peak before it ended up falling apart. But when it comes down to it, Anya Taylor-Joy did a great job as Furiosa. Furiosa doesn't talk a whole lot in this movie. It's very Mad Max-esque, so it kind of fits another character rolling through. It definitely adds more, in my opinion, and makes Fury Road better because you're giving us backstory with the different factions and Fury Road and this entire area. So I enjoy it a lot. I think it's anybody who loved Fury Road, 100%. You got to go watch this. If you haven't seen Fury Road yet, what are you doing? Go watch Fury Road.
Go watch Fury Road, yeah.
But at the same time, maybe you could watch this. But here's the issue. If you have not seen Fury Road and you were attempting to go see this because it's a prequel to lead into Fury Road, they ruin Fury Road
yeah, they
for
do
you.
Have certain things that they show stuff
whole
at the
movie,
end.
during the credits.
Yeah, that they give you a recap of what happened during Fury Road.
All of it. All the hits. To the very end of the movie, leading with the fall of certain characters. It's all there. Cliff notes visually, they just show you during the credits. So close your eyes if you're wanting to watch this first. Because like with Kingdom for the Planet of the Apes, that movie you can absolutely see without having to see any of the other ones and then go back and enjoy those. Here, no, like if you shut your eyes when you get to the credits if you haven't seen Fury Road.
Or I'm sure maybe just leave.
Just leave. Most people leave. But either way, Furiosa, are you going to check it out? Let us know in the comments below. It's well done. It's well done. It's clean. It's polished. And the music ain't as good as the first one. But that's the thing is you're comparing it to Fury Road.
Yeah.
It's like you kind of expect. But if you take Fury Road out of it, it is a hell of a Mad Max Wasteland story.
It's a solid addition to the story.
That's the key word, addition. But let us know your thoughts in the comments below. You can also like and subscribe.
And did a thing on our Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, Discord.
All the social networking gin joints, you know where they are. Kick into the party, fuel the party, keep the party going on our Patreon. Check out our reaction to the entire first season of X-Men 97, available on our channel now. Vanessa has just started Bridgerton Season 3 by herself. She's editing all of it.
I sure am.
She's taking it over.
And I'm editing it myself.
Yeah, so check out her reaction to that as she makes her way through part 1 of Season 3. Thanks so much, and as always,
now it's time to say goodbye.
And this party is over.
Bye.
Bye.